Being on RuPaul's Drag Race requires a lot of these fierce queens.
You have changed the world of drag forever.
While it looks like it's all fun and games and glitter, there's a lot going on that most viewers don't know about.
When we got there, we didn't know what the new rules were going to be.
From cutting themselves off from their family to being locked in their hotel rooms, drag racers have to follow a lot of protocol.
I'm back by popular demand.
Taking a group of the most talented drag queens out there, RuPaul puts his stars through the works, from sewing challenges to diva battles. It's no cakewalk becoming America's next drag superstar. She doesn't know the words. Since a lip sync for your life could happen at any moment on the show, any Drag Race hopeful is required to familiarize themselves with RuPaul's discography. However, you can never know which hits producers have picked for the main stage. Jaden Dior Fierce revealed that contestants get an iPod full of all the lip sync songs at the beginning of the competition. They are then told a night or two before which song to prepare for the upcoming elimination. When you consider what a large chunk of their day is spent on weekly challenges and getting into drag, that does not leave a lot of time to memorize songs. Valentina infamously proved that it's harder to memorize these songs than we think on season 9. To impress season 12 guest judge Nicki Minaj, these queens should make sure they get the words right in front of the queen of rap. Elimination protocols.
As it is written, so it shall be done.
Eliminations on RuPaul's Drag Race usually come after a lip sync, and it's based mostly on a queen's track record in the competition, in addition to how well she lip synced. Ben de la Creme proved to viewers and producers alike that contestants on Drag Race have the power to twist the show's narrative in unexpected directions. After an unprecedented run on All Stars 3, Della decided to eliminate herself.
I'm going home.
On All Stars, the top queen that week is the one to eliminate contestants. On the classic seasons of Drag Race, it's Mama Ru who makes the call. And Ru can eliminate one queen, both queens, save them all, or even eliminate a queen who isn't even in the bottom 2. And when RuPaul says,
Sachet,
there's no fighting it. Speak kindly of Mama. Although it is more of an unspoken rule of the show, drag racers would be wise to not go up against Mama Ru. Former contestant Pearl has revealed that her public criticism of the drag icon sealed her fate with the franchise. After she made negative comments about the show's host on Hey Queen, she was reportedly contacted by a Drag Race producer who told her she was banned from competing on All Stars. Pearl is not the only contestant that has faced the consequences of being outspoken. Fifi O'Hara and Gia Gunn returned to compete on All Stars after openly criticizing the show, only to end up with the infamous villain edit, where the editing of the show made them look perpetually negative. One take in the workroom. Since her time on the show, Willem has eagerly dished on her experiences with Drag Race. In a series of Twitter posts, the former contestant accused the show of playing favorites while they were shooting the workroom entrances. Willem claimed that Sharon Needles was allowed to redo her entrance, while Willem was only allowed one take. The Vixen has also revealed that she had to film her entrance 4 times. Even though these queens are told they only get one take, the production team plays fast and loose with the workroom entrance rules. Thankfully, season 12's guest judges like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez get a grand entrance on the runway. Film multiple finales. While the queens on RuPaul's Drag Race may only get one take for their entrance, they have to film several takes of the show's grand finale. The finale of RuPaul's Drag Race is filmed in front of a live audience and edited for a more cohesive television viewing. So how do the producers ensure that none of the audience members spoil the ending? Evidently, multiple endings of the finale episode are filmed, where each queen will walk as the winner to make sure spoilers from the audience don't leak. That means each of the top queens hears RuPaul announce their name as the winner, and they film their acceptance as if they've won, but they watch the actual finale in real time weeks later like we do at home. Work the camera. All aspiring drag queens who want to participate in RuPaul's Drag Race must submit an audition tape. The list of requirements is pretty extensive, so the tape must be very elaborate. Some of the requirements include doing an acting challenge, an impersonation, and lip syncing. And some queens put a lot of effort into the production of their video, like Ariel Versace's video from season 11. Queens are not allowed to recycle their videos. If a queen auditions for one season but doesn't make it, she has to submit a completely new audition tape the next time around. Drink limit. The Untucked series, where the queens get to rest and discuss the upcoming lip sync, gives the contestants a refreshing drink backstage. The drinks provided are actually watered-down cranberry juice with a hint of vodka. Some queens are sober and get a mocktail or soda, but the alcoholic drinks are made that way for a reason. Production placed a limit on the amount of drinks available after the queen, Juju B, performed the lip sync seemingly inebriated back in season 2. Drag is not a contact sport. In one of the show's early seasons, Mimi I'm First wreaked havoc on her fellow competitors. In a Drag Race First and Last, Mimi lifted India off the ground during a lip sync battle between the two. The incident provoked RuPaul to sternly declare that drag is not a contact sport, as she sent Mimi packing. No other competitors have tried to copy Mimi's take on lip syncing since she left the show, and Ru's response, although not an official rule, is not to be forgotten by the other queens.
Drag is not a contact sport.
No guests. During the making of Drag Race, the filming location is kept secret, and contestants are not allowed to have any contact with the outside world. Some queens, however, have struggled to stick to these simple rules. In one of the show's most dramatic moments, Willem was eliminated because Ru claimed rules were broken. In the episode, no explanation was given for Willem's dismissal. The truth eventually came out during the season's reunion episode. According to Willem, she had received visits from her husband in her hotel room during the cast's downtime.
The first night, he was knocked on my door and it was a delivery!
Keeping in regular contact with her significant other was a clear violation of Drag Race rules and led to her immediate elimination. Wig snatched. No matter how many bobby pins, wig clips, tape, and glue some of these queens use, wigs can sometimes go flying. But this is not RuPaul's favorite thing. Over and over, queens have thrown off their wigs during the heat of a lip sync, and over, RuPaul and the other judges have ripped them apart for it. This has never worked out for a queen unless you pull off a moment like Sasha Velour with her show-stopping flower petal reveal. And thanks to Roxy Andrews in season 5, after one of the sickest runway tricks of all time, RuPaul amended his warning never to remove a wig while performing. RuPaul tweeted, "Never remove your wig while performing unless you're wearing another wig underneath." Basically, never take off that hair unless you've got a big surprise coming out of it. Be prepared for long hours in heels. The show is filmed for around 11 and 12 hours a day, and the queens are in heels, painful outfits, and tucked for the majority of it. A season of RuPaul's Drag Race can take about a month to film, which means that the contestants have to put in crazy working hours. But, as they say, pain is beauty. No peeking. Drag Race runs a tight ship, and there is a lot of secrecy around who is competing on any given season. Not only are audiences kept out of the loop, contestants are also left in the dark. Quite literally. Alyssa Edwards says she was blindfolded when she was taken to her room.
Took us off the plane and blindfolded us and got us here to the hotel.
Alaska added that she was not allowed to open the blinds in her hotel room. It is only when they step into the workroom that the queens learn who they are up against. Up until that point, they are kept strictly separated and closed off from one another.
I have a feeling that Alaska Talks is here.
Secret notes. After Willem revealed those rule-breaking husband visits we mentioned earlier, production started taking measures to prevent something similar from happening again. According to Bianca Del Rio, producers now place tape over the contestants' doors before they go to bed. They are by no means taped into their rooms, but producers will be able to tell if they snuck out during their downtime. If the tape was not enough of a deterrent, production assistants also take turns keeping watch over the contestants. Bianca explained how contestants are able to communicate their needs from within their confinement. If they want something, they have to slip a note under their door to one of the production assistants waiting outside. No chit-chat off camera. Courtney Act, a top contestant from season 6, explained how the queens are not allowed to talk to each other when they're off camera. It's reality TV, Courtney said. They want to capture all the magic for the cameras, so you're sequestered away in rooms. Although everyone gets in a minivan to the hotel every day, you are not allowed to talk about what happens. How can a van full of drag queens stay so quiet? Sue me. Reality shows have been sued by their contestants before, but RuPaul's Drag Race kept that on lock with this rule. Disgruntled queens do not have the right to sue the show's producers, and it's in their contract, plain and simple. The moment they sign the contract, they agree to this, so no defamation lawsuits will be happening here.
Mama Ru, sue me.
Snatch Game realness. No season of Drag Race is complete without the highly anticipated Snatch Game. In the game show style challenge, queens impersonate famous faces, and more importantly, they try to make Ru laugh. A restriction that has given a few queens a headache, however, is the fact that they can't compete as fictional characters. Yep, these larger-than-life characters have to be real people. If their choices are protected by copyright laws, the queens have no other choice than to find another star to impersonate. Recreate scenes. Among its numerous stipulations is the requirement to recreate scenes or repeat statements and actions for the cameras. The contract's wording indicates that competing queens do not have to do or say anything the producers tell them to, but they are required to sometimes repeat something they have already said and done. This clause has likely been added so the producers have a chance to get better footage or recordings of important or GIF-worthy moments from the competition. Sponsors, sponsors, sponsors. The entertainment industry is always looking for new ways to tempt advertisers, and linking a successful show to a product is a winning strategy. Showcasing products and services on a reality series requires that contestants play along, of course. Drag queens who compete on RuPaul's Drag Race are in fact contractually obligated to participate in the show's advertising activities. Whether they are naming, using, or describing a product, the queens will have to serve marketing realness if they want a shot at the crown. Suitcase limit. These drag queens have to look fierce during the entire season. This means packing a lot of makeup, outfits, and accessories. The challenge, however, is fitting all of their items into 5 suitcases. The queens disclosed, however, that makeup alone can take up to 2 suitcases. Since the show is one that caters for airfare, they must place this rule to avoid overweight charges. But how do these queens make all those looks fit? 1 year later. Contestants may want to capitalize on their new popularity thanks to RuPaul's Drag Race, but that's actually not allowed for quite some time. After the contestants leave the show, participants can't do any other media without the show's permission until a year passes after the final episode is aired. If they have to do so, they do it with the express authority of the show's producers, which requires a lot of negotiating. While this seems pretty limiting, the drag queens are allowed to do live performances and make appearances. That is the main source of their livelihoods after all. But if they do so, they aren't allowed to mention their affiliation to RuPaul's Drag Race. Will you ever watch RuPaul's Drag Race the same way now that you know the rules behind the scenes? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for stopping by The Taco. Bye for now.